What is up, everybody? Well, we finally made it to texturing the Giga. So, Giga, whatever. Yes, it has been a while since I have posted anything. My life has been a little bit hectic as of late. I'm hoping to continue working with my YouTube videos because I do enjoy it. So I wanted to post the process of working on the texturing of the dinosaur. So here it is. And all I did was created a base color, but I just used a texture map. It's 4096 by 4096 pixels. And now I am just working on the very basic coloring in of the dinosaur. So I am using a tablet while doing this. It is much quicker and easier for me to work with. I have used a mouse before, and since swapping over to a tablet, I have not wanted to go back to using a mouse. So anyway, yeah, I'm just lightly going in with the color and just working in certain aspects that I think I would like to have pronounced. So that is what I'm doing. Nothing crazy. I hope that you all have been well. Here I'm using the clone stamp brush. I was just cloning in that middle section. I'm not trying to get super detailed. I'm trying to just leave the detailing for later, but I am just outlining the basics. And I have a color palette that I have selected and saved, or selected as in like I've selected my colors, and yeah, I created a palette. And you might notice that the dino looks a little bit shiny, and that's because I have my roughness map plugged in, and later I do unplug it so it's not so like it looks like it just took a bath. So my main colors that I'm using for the base are just that light gray that I'm using right now, and there's a dark gray that I use. And then if I don't like something, I will use the same color that I am applying the color to. So like the kind of white color, I'll use that to erase and go back to its original state, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. My brush strength is set pretty high, but I'm actually being very, I'm not using a lot of pen pressure when I'm using the tablet. I'm actually being very delicate. So I'll be completely honest, I don't remember what I'm doing in this exact moment. Looks like I'm correcting something, but I'm in the wrong texture slot, so I have to swap over to the base color. There we go. I figured it out. And my cat has something she'd like to say, so I will put her on the mic. Okay, hopefully you heard that. She said the dinosaur looks like crap, so that's great. I believe I disconnected that roughness map and I just turned the roughness all the way up to 1. That way I would just be able to see the color in its true form without any sort of distraction. And I just realized that this video is playing at normal speed, and I highly doubt you like to see me painting at normal speed, so I'm gonna speed the video up again. Alrighty, it was gonna be a long, boring video if it was in normal speed. So here I am just painting in that nostril. And for some reason it's super shiny, and I have a feeling that has to do with one of the maps that I did not paint the information map over it, so honestly I can't remember. Between dealing with that, I think at the end of the series, which I believe I am right at the end, I am going to do a video on things that I've learned during the process of making this, because it was quite a process. As you can probably look back and see that this series has dragged on for a long time. Partially to blame, with things going on in life, but yeah, so. And I ran into a lot of bumps along the way. But I think the result was somewhat worth it. Somewhat. I think I had to kind of just stop at some point while texturing this too. So now I'm adding in kind of like these little stripes, and I definitely regret the way I started doing the stripes. I wish I hadn't just drawn them with the draw brush. I think it would have been a little bit more efficient to use the smudge brush and then had like a different fall off. That way they're not so like flat as the draw brush usually is with that smooth fall off. So I'm adding in like that second layer of coating, using that darker, almost black gray color. Here I am adding in some stripes. Definitely not my finest work. I was never good at drawing lightning bolts, and that definitely shows through. I'm currently waiting for, well, right now, actually, let me talk about this, what I'm doing here. I'm using the clone stamp tool and just sampling colors right next to the line that I have going on, and then just using the smudge tool to get rid of them. What I was going to say before I rudely interrupted myself is that I'm currently waiting for Substance Painter to go on sale on Steam, and hopefully that happens soon. I don't know. I feel like texturing in Blender, maybe I just am not the brightest using it, or I'm not as, familiar, but it just doesn't seem as user-friendly as it could be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just pulling that from somewhere. Yeah. It's kind of like my summer purchase. So I'm going in with that white color. Oh, never mind, I swapped over. Well, I was going in with the white color and just kind of fixing in those like streaks that I was getting. So now I'm using this like brown muggy color and using it to give a little bit of a pop. And right now I'm using it in overlay. So I'm using that like muggy green yellow color and just ever so lightly going around that dark gray that I placed. I find it helps like the overall color pop and kind of breaks the boringness, I guess, of the gray. I don't know how else to explain it, but here I was looking for a add-on or a window where it has like all these different orthographic perspectives. I could be thinking of another program, but I could have sworn it was available. So part of me kind of forgot that I had overlay turned on, and I was like, why is it painting so dark? At first I didn't notice it, and then I noticed it later. But I kind of went with it because it definitely made it contrasted to what I had before, so I kept rolling with it. So sometimes I notice that the clone stamp tool would not work on the paint of the UV map. So I would have to use the clone stamp tool in the actual viewport. I don't know like why that was happening, but in here you'll notice that the face is very, like I have way too much subsurf scattering on it, like it's way too bright in the map. So eventually within, I don't know if I have it recorded, but I go back and I adjust the subsurf because I had it way too high at that point.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come up.
I'm just going through here and fixing up the divider that I have going between the spine, using the clone stamp, and then realizing that that's not going to solve the issue, so I just go ahead and paint, and then I use the smudge tool to just smudge the color around.
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion. Even though I offer all of the solutions, I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck.
So this was going back to me saying I wish I had used the smudge tool. This is me trying the smudge tool and then realizing that it's not going to work. And then I was like, you know what, let me play around with some textures. Maybe that'll help give me kind of something that I'm looking for. Thought that was kind of cool. And it doesn't really like work for, you know, everything that I have kind of going right now. So I continue kind of messing around, seeing what kind of results I can get. This is just me like experimenting with different color options and using color dodge, soft light, etc. Nothing super special going on here. I am just going in with brush, and right now I'm adding in some more of those strange lightning bolts. So right now I'm looking at the skin and I'm thinking it looks really like plain and basic, and there's no real like texture-y feel to it. So that's when I went ahead and created that texture, and I'm using the clouds to kind of give me some sort of change and break in the the brush stroke that I've been using for most of the time. One thing I did notice, I'm not as familiar with the stencil tool as I thought. I kind of, like when I was using the brush, or the stencil rather, I've found that you can only use it with values of like white and black kind of, and the in-between values of, you know, gray and stuff. So I was kind of struggling with having it show up, and then I was like, oh, if I use white, it'll paint through on the white parts of the clouds. So I thought that was interesting. I guess you can't use color? I don't know. I'm still learning. I wanted to try to add some like blue in to give it that kind of pop color, but right now the saturation is a little bit too intense, and I believe I end up erasing most of it. So this will conclude the end of this video. I've been super slacking on getting my YouTube videos out, and I definitely wanted to get as much out before the Jurassic World release. So yeah, I have one more part coming out, and it will come out pretty much a day after this comes out. So I hope you enjoyed, and take care. We'll see you soon.